What are some horrifying things to consider when thinking about aliens? Aliens could do to us what we did to wolves, selectively breeding a once noble species in grotesque ways, transforming us into the equivalent of bulldogs, poodles, dachshunds, etc. I'm sure this has been done a bunch of times, but a world-building concept I really like is the idea that stereotypical fantasy races were once all human, but then adapted to / was bred for different environments. So like dwarves adapted to a high-gravity planet, orcs have green skin so that they can photosynthesize on a harsh desert planet with little food. Halflings were bred to be domestic servants, etc. It's not nearly the same as you mentioned, but the novel Brave New World is probably the closest I've read to what you described. Humans genetically bred for different levels and use in society. That they cold been here the entire time, playing Farmville with us. It's possible that they are fat single cell organisms just loafing around. They're already here, just like chilling on our eyebrows and shit, drinking mini space tennis. Cantina band music from Star Wars starts blaring from my eyebrows. The possibility of them already knowing about us but us not knowing about them. We have no idea if they know. They could be committing space espionage right now, and we wouldn't know about it. Yet across the gulf of space, intellects fast and cool and unsympathetic regarded our planet with envious eyes and slowly, and surely, drew their plans against us. Isn't this from War of the Worlds? Would be scary to imagine a starved, desperate race of beings that are trying to keep their world alive by any means necessary. You should watch District 9. What if there really is valuable information to be gained from anal probes? Then the porn industry would be well informed. What are you doing, stepbro? Colonoscopy. One theory from Stephen Hawking is that if they are sufficiently advanced, that aliens may treat us like ants. When we build dams, we don't worry about whether or not a dam will cause an anthill to be flooded out. Similarly, a species that is advanced as far beyond us as we are beyond ants might seek to alter our planet or even our solar system to their advantage without giving consideration to what may happen to us. Like to make way for a hyperspace bypass? Hopefully they post the plans at the local zoning office first. Our human concepts of morality and empathy are heavily influenced by our mammalian biology. Imagine that aliens land, and instead of having nice little family units, their species lays clutches of thousands of eggs at a time. They don't form strong bonds. Life is essentially expendable for them. They see us weeping over a dead child and they have literally no frame of reference for understanding why this would be upsetting. I'm not saying all aliens will be like this, but some definitely could be. A counter-argument would be octopuses. They are the most different form of intelligent life that we know, and they don't seem to be that artful-ish. Although here we are with our supposed empathy, yet we eat them up. I was also thinking about octopuses, but in another way. They are highly intelligent yet don't rule the sea. One reason for this is the lack of bond with their parents. They don't pass on their knowledge from one generation to another. Thus I'd argue that a social bond is a requirement for an intelligent species to advance that far. For all we know, aliens might not be the little green men that fly around in flying saucers and destroy us with laser beams. They could be an interstellar pathogen that show up one day and silently and effortless kills us all without warning. Our immune systems would have no idea what hit them. There was a book called Blind Sight that explores a cool idea of aliens, where they are not your typical little green men. The premise is pretty much what if humanity is unique? What if intelligent life is common, but sentience is not? That music, art, literature is a uniquely human trait. That space is filled with cold, emotionless, genius life. To me that idea is kinda horrifying. At least, I think that's what the book was about. I'm not the best reader lol. Along the same lines, most of our fiction depicts intelligent alien life as fundamentally similar to human intelligence. But think of something like a spider. Spiders don't have an intelligence similar to humans at all. So in theory a spider of human-like intelligence would still be completely alien to us. I guess what I'm saying is that even intelligence and sentience don't mean that we would think even sort of the same. They might be sexy, and they might be horny. There are hot aliens in your area. Everybody remembered where they were when the transmission came in. Whether they were reading the news, on the toilet or streaming TV, they all remembered where they were. The transmission was obviously not natural, and it was announced that on that day, aliens had made first contact with Earth. It took Earth's top linguists and cryptographers a decade to translate the image portion of the transmission alone, and another 2 decades to translate the text. The world waited with bated breath as the translation was announced. Meet hot, sexy aliens in your galactic sector. Join Xeno dating today. They might bully you. Earth is just a nerdy new kid in school. Yo, check out the Terran here. Still relying on fossil fuels. How old is your civilization even? Like 200 years old. You stupid baby. We are so sorry. We can't protect you anymore. Apostrophe. Reminds me of the Protheans in Mass Effect. Hey, here are these plans for weapons that we and several civilizations before us have worked on. It's your only hope in stopping the galaxy-ending threat. By the way, we all died, and so did all the other races. Good luck, man. That reveal that Protheans weren't these incredibly beyond understanding intelligent beings of beauty and art was wild. Finding out they had slaves and simply built their empire, much like the current galactic community, upon the skeletons of tech the Reapers left behind specifically for them to find. I was like, damn. The assumption that they come in groups in some flying saucer. For all we know, they might just appear in hordes of thousands if not millions all across the planet. Also, we like to think that aliens will share the same way of thinking as humans, i.e., reasoning, emotions, etc. Close bracket. But the only reason we think that is because that's the only thing we are familiar with. Aliens might have completely different emotions or thought processes than us, but we won't know because we never encountered them before. It's like the fourth dimension. At this point it's pretty well established what it is, but most of us, if not all, have no clue how to visualize or properly explain it. Well, for us at least, the best way I think that we can evolve to be spaciferers is to become energy/hardware based beings. If you take the squishy human body out of the equation and have us uploaded as digital consciousnesses or a collective consciousness, then you eliminate a lot of the problems of deep space travel, resources, radiation, size of spacecraft, reproduction, acceleration/deceleration, etc. With feasible technology you could literally beam human consciousness vast distances at the speed of light to preceded automated factories that produce what we need from local resources, robotic bodies, ships and the like. It's just one idea, but it definitely solves a number of problems we are going to encounter in the next few centuries. We haven't exactly evolved to be good in space, and we probably will never naturally evolve to be good in space. Extremely unlikely, I know, but if aliens ever come to Earth it likely means they are a spacefaring and interstellar capable species with tech at least centuries, if not millennia, ahead of ours. In other words, if aliens are even remotely capable of traveling to our planet, we are pretty much outgunned hilariously. I would much rather be massively outgunned than to be just a bit outgunned. If even our most powerful nukes are nothing compared to their technology, then we're not a threat. If we pose a potential danger to them, there's an incentive to eliminate us. That's one of the reasons why the aliens in Battle, Los Angeles really creep me out. They're powerful and dangerous, but they are still low tech enough that regular human soldiers can fight them in a conventional war. And that's why the aliens are so aggressively genocidal against humans and trying to wipe us out. The speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. I think that any aliens that are capable of traveling light years to reach us have no interest in our resources. Agreed. Totally. To play devil's advocate, however, I would also add the following. A big factor in their decision whether or not the resources on Earth were plentiful enough to justify the trip would be just how technologically advanced they were. If they were so advanced that they could travel faster than the speed of light or fold spacetime or something, Then it would come down to how badly they needed whatever resources and whether or not they could attain it elsewhere with less effort. Damn near anything on Earth except life itself, and that which certain life creates, art for instance, is absolutely abundant elsewhere. Just about every element is out there in abundance. If aliens come to Earth, I would most likely believe it'll be for one of X things: 1. Kill us, religion, belief in supremacy, etc. 2. Adopt us, the intergalactic draft, more friends for space bingo. 3. Study us, we are the zoo. 4. A search for a cure to heat death. If you can dodge the laws of thermodynamics, you can dodge a ball. The scariest thing to me is thinking that aliens want nothing to do with us. I don't get why everyone thinks that aliens would attack us immediately. It's one thing if we come into their territory, but if they stumble upon us, we are most likely safe. Them finding us would mean they are incredibly advanced. Anything they could get by attacking Earth they could get far easier by harvesting it from a different planet in our solar system. Unless they feed specifically on brainwaves, it isn't worth the hassle to attack a planet teeming with life. They may have some weapons, however primitive, that might be used against you. It's far more frightening to believe that aliens will one day discover us and won't be interested. They won't want us on their intergalactic councils. They won't want to give us medicine. They won't want to form any bond. If they decide to just leave humanity alone, that means either they have decided we are not worth saving, or that we are too close to destruction to be worth the resources. What we think the aliens will do to us is reflective of our ego. We analogize some conquest of the new world, manifest destiny stuff to it cause that's what we know, but aliens could just be boring, uninterested, or have totally different priorities. Because they're alien, not Christopher Columbus with big eyes. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.